Hey everybody, welcome back to the Plays and Fades YouTube channel. I'm your host, Gordo Gambles, joined by this beauty of a man here, Kirode, and we're back to break down another slate of UFC action, baby. UFC 267, one we've been waiting for such a long time. It's a shame I'm not with you there in person, Kirode, but that's okay because you're not the only guest we have on the show today. We are honored to be joined by absolute studs here this week to break down an absolutely stellar card. 15 fights, a lot of really talented fighters and lots of skill on display this weekend, and we're excited to go out there. There's money to be made. Let's not waste any more time. We are honored to be joined by Liam from Liam Picks Fights, and he's
a great mind in MMA, especially when it comes to the betting side. Let's hear what he has to say about DFS this week.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Liam. I'm here to do some DFS breakdowns really quick for my man Gordo. Appreciate Gordo always featuring me on the channel. Means a lot to me. And he asked me to come up with some UFC 267 DFS plays that I really like. So here I am doing my best, folks. I've got for you Albert Duraev, my favorite for this week. I think that Duraev is the real deal. I had a flyer on Chow Bittencourt at plus 300, and he absolutely ran through that guy like he had no ground game. And Chow Bittencourt does have a ground game, right? I had went into his tape and saw that he has extensive jiu-jitsu matches. I could find gi matches of his 9 years ago. The guy's been training jiu-jitsu for a very long time, and he got absolutely ran on the ground in no time by Duraev. I think that Duraev's the real deal. I think his ground and pound, I think his top pressure, I think his striking is all up to par. I think he's going to be able to get this fight to the ground quickly. Kopylov has shown, not the best takedown defense, not the best submission defense, not the best cardio, not the best heart. So I think that Duraev's probably going to find a finish here. So I like Duraev big time as a favorite for DraftKings purposes. Now, that being said, guys, what else do I like here from an underdog perspective? Hu Yaozong is plus 200. For his fight, right? I think maybe from a money line perspective that could have value, but more importantly, guys, Petroski has no gas tank. So Petroski could finish, certainly, and he's probably going to be decently owned, I would imagine, because he's a finisher, because he's got a path to victory on the ground. But I think Hu Yaozong is probably going to be a lot for him to handle physically. I think they're going to be pretty well matched in that area, and Petroski relies a lot on that physicality. I think he's probably going to gas himself over the course of this fight and potentially get finished. And I think that Hu Yaozong could be a potential value play for that reason. Other dogs that I like on this card with finishing upside, Glover Teixeira. Guys, I know it sounds crazy. Jan Blachowicz obviously is going to have the advantage on the feet here, but, his power is a little bit overrated, just a touch. I don't think Glover's going to get nuked in the first 10 seconds or something. And Glover has an excellent top game. So if he's able to get it there, I think Glover is going to be very live. And on top of that, Glover's got serious ground and pound. He's got good submissions. He's got decent power on the feet. I don't think that Glover Teixeira is your worst look if you're looking for a cheaper price underdog for DraftKings this weekend. So God bless you all. Good luck with that. I hope that this DFS information is helpful for you, and everybody enjoy the fights. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, totally agree, Liam. Two fighters with absolutely stellar GPP potential, and we're not done there. DFS Whisperer, another great mind in the DFS end of sports. Tell us what you got this weekend.
What's up, everybody? Easy here from the DFS Whisperers. Excited to be on the Plays and Fades Sports channel to talk some UFC 267 DraftKings picks. It's a solid card from top to bottom and a lot of nice DraftKings spots, so let's go ahead and get into it. I like Alexander Volkov at 8,900, mainly because I think that price tag is sandwiched between a lot of great plays and he may be lower owned than he should be. And I think Volkov actually has a chance to finish Teixeira in this spot because I believe Teixeira will struggle to close the distance and, get his wrestling game going or just push him up against the cage. And Volkov's striking is pretty good, and even if he gets taken down, I don't think he'll stay down on the ground. He has decent enough get-up game, but Teixeira is lethal on the ground, so as long as this fight can stay standing, I definitely would prefer that, and Volkov should light him up on the feet. Up next, I got Petr Yan at 8,800, which I see a lot of Sandhagen love out there, and for good reason too, because Sandhagen is good. I mean, his striking is elite, but that wrestling is the biggest hole in his game, and Petr Yan can mix his wrestling in very, very well. I want to say he's had at least one takedown in his last 6 fights, so Petr Yan, man, I think he's just going to put on a masterclass again. Should still be champion, but my boy Aljo, we all know what went down the last time they fought. But I like Yan in this spot. I think he could score very well, too, at 8,800. And with all the Sandhagen love I'm seeing out here, we could get Yan at lower ownership. I mean, he really can land multiple takedowns if he needs it. He can also, light Sandhagen up on the feet. Not with volume, but with more power shots. So that's a fight that I'm looking forward to. And also, going to my next play, I like Verna Jandiroba versus Amanda Ribas. I feel like Ribas is overrated, and Jandiroba is a good fighter. I wouldn't say great, but she's a good fighter. She has some pop on her shots too, and we could see her finish Amanda Ribas. Now, when it comes to the grappling, I'll say they probably null each other on that spot. So I don't expect to see a lot of grappling, or whoever ends up on top may stay on top, which is huge for DraftKings because with this new scoring, it favors like the wrestlers more than the strikers. And if you could get somebody with a lot of control time, or get a decent number of takedowns in control time, they're gonna score high. But I feel like Jandiroba just when the fight stays standing, I think Jandiroba may light up Ribas. Ribas is quick, but she's very, very hittable, and Jandiroba got some pop, so I like her a lot at 8K in this spot. And finally, for my final play, I got Glover Teixeira, and he's 7,200. I gotta take a shot at the old man Glover. He's been good to me. Every time I play him, he cashes out for me. It's a tough matchup. Blachowicz is good. Glover is good. Glover's chin is very questionable, and he's going up against the legendary Polish Power. When it comes to the grappling, I feel like they're both BJJ black belts. They're both solid grapplers, but I'll take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over the Polish Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So it's tough, but I think Glover might be able to squeak out a win here. We could see him grapple him and just stay safe on top for like 5 rounds, or even potentially get a finish late. I don't see that happening, but for some weird reason, Glover is just more of a gut feeling play for me here. Appreciate y'all having me on the channel, and I'm out. Easy.
There you have it, guys. Absolutely stellar guests this week. I am super pumped to have them on. Thank you to all 3 of them. Make sure to check out my videos with Liam, especially the live stream on Friday, and join the DFS Whisperer Discords. I will be there, and they're talking fights this weekend. But that's not all, guys. We still have to talk about our picks. That's what you guys are here for. Who are we liking this weekend? Kiro, I know you got a great pick up top. Who are we liking and why?
One of our absolute favorite stud fighters around here, Kamza Chemiev. I mean, this guy has a $9,500 price tag this week, but for very good reason. I mean, this guy's had 3 fights in the UFC, which isn't a whole ton, but all 3 have been absolute demolitions of his opponents. I mean, he's landed something like 180 significant strikes and only absorbed 3, an insane amount of control time on the ground, some crazy knockouts. We absolutely love this guy. The hype train is real. He's fighting a good opponent this week, but we think he gets it done, and there's a reason he's up there at $9,500. I mean, he's put up over 120 points in all 3 of those fights, and we expect him to do nothing less this week. Obviously a high salary, which means he won't get into all of your lineups probably, but if you want some secure points, Chemiev. Moving on to a fight that overall we want to target a lot this week. We are looking at the Zaleski dos Santos and Sandeni fight. I mean, this one is one that could definitely go either way. There's a reason they're closer to the middle of those price tags. Zaleski, they're at $8,500 and Sandeni at $7,700. Sandeni, obviously a rookie in the UFC, making his first appearance, but the guy is 8-0, all finishes. Obviously against weaker opponents though. Zaleski is a more experienced UFC fighter. He's been around the block. He's a pretty good, well-rounded fighter. And we think both these guys have the ability to score big. Obviously a big finish from Sandeni early would be very much worth that at $7,700. But we like both of these guys. We definitely think Zaleski can get it done too. It's a fight that we think will score big. Should be an electric fight. We favor a little bit on the side of Zaleski dos Santos, but we think both of these guys are relatively good options near the middle of this price range. And lastly, we talked about it earlier with some of our guests. We think that Sandhagen is definitely an option there, but we want to target that fight as a whole a lot this week. Again, it's a fight that could score big on both sides. Obviously a 5-round fight, which means more opportunity to score points. And Peter Yan is a very, very good fighter. So we think both of those guys, good output, electric guys. We think that they can both score pretty big this week. So either side that you're going to be on, we think you should definitely have pretty high ownership on one of those sides of that fight.
Yep, you said it all, and that's going to do it for us, guys. A big thank you to our guests for joining us. They said a lot of good things. A lot of good things I want to reiterate real quick. Chemiev, Duraev, great options up top. Makhachev, super safe in cash. We love his takedown upside. And you really want to target that Blachowicz Texera as well as that Yan Saghagen fight. Those 2 5-rounders, absolutely electrifying and a lot of GPP potential. That's going to do it for us. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at Gordo Gambles, at Plays Fades. Sauce a follow over there. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel because there's an even better card next week. So lots of UFC action, NFL as well, every single week. So make sure you're tuned in for that and let's make some money.
Ding!